too bad. Right.
All right, I'm on your Instagram looking and seeing if it goes live or not.
Oh, there we go. So we are live on Facebook. I think we might be live on
Okay,
Instagram.
Yep, you just went live on there.
So I think we are good to go. Let's just double check. So people can see how professional we are when we don't go live. You know, that's the,
talking utter nonsense the whole time.
utter trash. Right. So Ronnie, you can deal with the chat, mate.
Yeah.
So-
Ronnie's backdrop, he looks like he's at a strip club.
Where's the poll?
It's
Wait,
off
we need to
camera.
get your dancing out again, don't we? We need to get
broke,
you dancing in the club again.
Right. Are we ready, boys?
Let's do it to it.
I guess
Boys.
so.
Right. Okay. Well, this is a proper podcast, so I'll do the introduction like I will normally do. So this is the Rugged Revival podcast. We're your home of the UK's country, Americana and roots music community. This is a very special episode. So for the first time ever, we've gone live across Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I can't believe they let us on these platforms. It's ridiculous.
They haven't seen us yet.
Whoa! Don't ruin it, Josh.
Maybe one shining moment.
I know.
You know?
So we got one chance or one shot, as Eminem says. So, hello to anyone who might be out there listening and watching. There's probably absolutely no one, but we're gonna have fun anyway. So we're
No
gonna
pressure.
do. It's Ronnie's. Well, the pressure's on Ronnie because he's going to be monitoring the live chats.
I am. I've put a message in there already. Welcome to the Rugged Revival live, and I spelled it wrong.
What a
No, I
pro!
haven't.
So, if anyone has any questions for Lance, Josh, me, Rugged Ronnie, yeah, just drop something in the live chat. We'll pick it up. We'll read it if it's appropriate. If it's not appropriate, we'll probably still read it. That's fine by us. So, yeah, by going live, like I said, there's no room for error. We are professionals. We're good at what we do, apparently. So anyway, joining us on the podcast this week, we've got Rugged Ronnie, who I'm going to be very nice to this week. My good friend. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm no idea what I'm doing on live, but it's all good. I'm with you. That's
Fair
the main
enough.
thing.
Well, your new nickname is Blob.
Blobbo, actually.
Blobbo. There you go.
Yeah.
So address him in the chat as Blobbo. He loves that. We also have our very good friend, and I want to call him a special celebrity host, Lance Rogers here as well.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. You know,
How are you doing, brother? You all right?
I've never been referred to as a celebrity host, so it's the first time for everything, right?
Rugged Revival celebrity. I don't know how much weight that carries in the industry.
It's very lightweight right now, but it's gonna get heavier.
Love it. But you're okay though, Lance, yeah?
Not bad. Not bad.
Fantastic.
I'm frozen solid. We haven't been able to leave the house in a while, but things are good. You know, we still have heat. A lot of people in Kentucky don't have heat right now. It's a tragedy. But for now, we're okay.
Yeah, thinking about everyone that's suffering out there. I've been watching Ryan Hall Yarl, I think his name is, online, and without boring you to tears, that's pretty good. So if you want live updates, head over to his YouTube channel. Anyway, so I don't think our actual guest needs any lengthy introduction. I know, actual. But we have Mr. Kentucky here. I think we referred to Nick Jameson as Mr. Kentucky, but we're going to snatch that back off Nick just for this
snatch it off
episode.
him.
Yeah, sorry, Nick. So
I don't
it's
know
going
about all
to
that.
and you're a #1 fan of the Rugged Revival. You love us that much that you wanted to come back on, and you're probably our oldest guest as well. So that's a feat in itself. Anyway, Josh Mitcham's on. How are you doing?
What do you say, bud?
All good, fella. All
I
good.
guarantee that I'm older than Josh. I guarantee that I'm older than Josh.
Oh, we've lost.
Somebody tried to call me just then. Sorry.
Oh.
No, it's great. I just got my truck hung up trying to get in here at work. I'm checking on the office, make sure things aren't froze up. I've been at home too, locked in, but I had to bust out today.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Anyway, right. So before we actually head into some semblance of a podcast and kind of go into things with you, Josh, I just want to say a huge thanks we've got a new sponsor. It's called Rugged Love. They're a dating agency, can you believe? With a twist. So this is our very first sponsor. We're obviously.
I don't want to say anything bad about your sponsor, but does this involve like lumberjacks or like what is the definition of rugged love? I need to know.
Well, hold on, mate. I'll tell you. You're jumping the gun a little bit.
Sorry.
So, you know, me
I don't
and
know where he gets his stuff from, mate. Honestly, it's just.
Well, it's a surprise for you as Ronnie, but we're obviously inundated with requests from other brands and companies. Everyone wants to collaborate with the Rugged Revival. So
all
Ronnie,
queuing up down the road, aren't they?
Yeah, we meet up at the pub, don't we, Ronnie? We carefully vet each of these brands and we decide who we pick. You know, that goes with our ethos and brand. So I'll show you a quick video, but yeah, thanks to Rugged Love. So
are we going to get kicked off for showing this video?
Probably.
We'll see. Right, well, let's give it a twirl.
Welcome to Rugged Love, the dating service for women tired of men who ask, "Is this okay?" before pissing with the door open. We're talking real men, the kind who eat a Snickers bar whole, wrapper and all. These are the men who drink 15 beers, piss their pants, and pass out face down in the nachos, and still wake up ready for round 2. Rugged Love pairs you with hunks who'll smack your ass in the supermarket, call your sugar tits in front of your dad, and drop a nuclear fart at the family barbecue just to clear the kids off the lawn. No light beer, no apologies, just glorious dad bods, zero filter, and love that smells faintly of engine oil and bad decisions. If you're ready for romance that comes with a side of felony-level flirting, call 1-800-RUGGED-LOVE today, because life's too short to date pussies.
Wow. There we go.
I didn't see that one coming.
Thank you to Rugged Love for sponsoring us.
I got to give a good Cincinnati to that one.
Yeah.
If any actual brands want to sponsor us, obviously get in touch through ruggedrevival.com.
Yeah.
Or email us, ruggedrevival@hotmail.com. But in the meantime, our main sponsor will remain Rugged Love.
Rugged Love.
Rugged Love. We need more sponsors.
I mean, look, here's the deal. Is that like the OnlyFans of bearded and mustached men with dad bods? Because I'm always down for a side hustle.
Whoa, yeah. I think we need to create that website. Well, we got the website. Maybe we can just do an add-on to that. But
there you go.
I think so.
Yeah,
I was thinking a good like side hustle would be like only bands instead of OnlyFans, like only bands. So like
I like
somebody
that.
could hire your band to do something for them, whatever that is. But it's
Whatever,
only
like
bands.
it depends on what. Like you have your own boundaries for what that is.
Exactly. You have to, the pay scale goes way up depending on what you want.
my pay
No
scale's
feet.
pretty low, to be fair.
He'd do anything for a $5.
For a $5. We're going to say something
I
else.
used to tell my dad $20 is $20.
Well, I hope you like that.
Well
Anyway,
done.
there you go. We do actually have some questions for you, Josh. I don't know if you want to go into them or whether we just take the piss out of each other for.
Well, we could do a question and then talk crap, and then do a question and talk crap.
Yeah, I like that format. I think maybe we'll use that going forwards, Ronnie. So, I mean, the first one is, you've obviously got in contact with us, Josh. Very excited about your new song, which is coming out on Friday, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, it couldn't have been a better time because the name of the song is Out of My Mind, and being locked up in my house with my whole family, it's kind of been the theme of the week. But no, this has been a long time coming. I've recorded all summer. I started in the spring, and it took multiple trips to Alabama to finally get it done, and then the wheels turned slow, and we had to get some other projects done out of that studio before we could start pushing this one. And I don't know, it's finally here. And Lance knows, like, no, I don't really have an answer, and I don't know what the formula is. But you do need a strategy. And so for us, it was, don't put something out right at the end of the year. Let's go ahead and start fresh. And then I think, like, kind of how you can tell by what Lance is doing, our audiences don't listen to full records at one time anymore. You know, they might buy your album, but as far as how they consume it, it's going to be digital, and it's going to be you're hot and then you're not. So we're going to do a single a month for 5 months, and then the whole record comes out in June. So just try to build up to it. It's the only thing that seems to be working right now.
Yeah, no, that's cool. So that's through Brett Robinson's Alabama Sound Company, isn't it? So I'm just intrigued because I've seen you part of it. Our very own good friend Gary Hector
Yeah.
is part of the ACS, I don't know, family.
ASC.
I've fucked that one up, but
yeah.
It's fine.
I tried 3
Says it in
times.
the name, really, doesn't it? But, yeah.
I tried. So yeah, I'm just intrigued. Like, who are the Alabama Sound Company, and you know, how did you get involved and why? Because you've been an independent artist for quite some time, and it was just interesting how you've kind of changed tacks a little bit.
Well, so first of all, it was started by Rich Henderson, which I'm sure you all know Rich. He and Brett kind of got together. They were recording together some, and because Brett had a studio, Brett had kind of had the idea of putting like you know how the Wrecking Crew was, like where you had just a really killer group of musicians, and you could just bring people in and use those same studio musicians to record stuff. Well, that worked for a little bit, and then those musicians ended up getting kind of cherry picked by some up and coming artists that are doing really well now. So he kind of went back to the drawing board on what Alabama Sound Company was going to be, and they just kind of started getting going. And then there was a period of time where they were trying to decide like what artists they were going to sign and how many, and they were vetting some people. And I just put out a few cries and a laugh, which was just kind of, let's put some songs out there and see what happens kind of deal. It's actually been a year ago, I think yesterday or Sunday. But he had kind of cold messaged me on Instagram. And we were friends on social media, but because I'd played with Whitey Morgan a couple times, knew who he was. But he just said, "Hey, I'd like to do a record sometime." And my response was, "Hey, I just did a record. Like I'm not ready to do another record." But he's like, "I know, but I'd like to, whenever you do your next one, I'd like to talk about it." So we did a call, and I spent an hour and a half trying to talk him out of it, because to me, it's like I'm not that guy, right? If you're wanting to make money off of an artist, I'm not on TikTok like blowing it up. I'm my audience is probably people who are out of high school and out of college. I was writing songs about 40-year-old people, so it was like, I'm like, man, you don't want to do this. But it's actually exactly what they wanted, which was somebody who just wants to make music, wants to make good music. He said, "You let me worry about making money off of it." They're like, "We'll figure that part out." So for me, it was a way of just going, well, I want to continue to make music. I'm not making money now, so what's the difference if I partner up with somebody? And you mentioned the word ethos. I just kind of liked what they were trying to do. Simple music. Let's not, because I've done some super hyper produced stuff where I have 15 guitar tracks and 10 vocal tracks and all that. And Brett was very much like, no, let's just put some mics in a room and let's cut them. He played guitar and bass, and Rich played drums, and I did all the guitar work and harmony singing. Very stripped down. It makes me uncomfortable because I'm like most singers probably, I don't like hearing my voice. And I constantly wanted to like double my vocal and put more harmonies on it and bring up the guitars. And he was like, I don't think I'm going to add anything to it. So it's been a process that I had to get comfortable with. And I'd never really been produced, right? I'd worked with great engineers who were producers who really said, "What do you want it to sound like?" And I would say, "Well, I hear A and B, these records. and see what you could do. But Brett was like, if I'm going to do this, like I'm going to make it sound like I'm trying to create a sound, right? So I'm going to do my thing, and if you don't like it, we'll do something different. So, and Lance probably know this. When you write a song, like I already have it orchestrated in my brain. Like I know what the drums should sound like, and what the guitar should sound like, and what the bass line should be, and what harmonies I would sing. I know all that stuff. So it's been real hard to go in with something, and let somebody else have it, and then let them present something back to me. It's been humbling, and it's been a good growth experience for me, because obviously whatever I was doing before wasn't making me rich and famous. Not that was the goal, but it's been fun. Like it's more collaborative. He really helped me work songs out and try to cut and get rid of this or change that chorus. This song isn't working because of that. So I don't know. It's been a new experience for me. And to answer your question, I've been a control freak for so long. I kind of needed to break out and let somebody tell me what to do.
Yeah, it's you said earlier you don't like following the rules and stuff like that. So so how has Brett managed to kind of rein you in? Have you just let him kind of wash over you? I don't know.
Well, the good thing is that if I was in Alabama, I would probably be a lot more hands-on and get on his nerves and pester him a lot. But the fact that he's 6 hours away, and that I would go down and knock out as much basic track stuff as I could, and then have to come back home, it kind of left him to his own devices, where he could just present stuff to me and say, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And there has been a couple of times where like, I don't know if I like that. But again, I had this idea of what I thought things should sound like. So I've really just kind of let go, and the stuff he's been sending me, like it's 100% grown on me. It grew on me quick. I like the vibe. It's very chill. The recording studio is like it's like 100-year-old former black elementary school right outside of Montgomery. So it's got all this vibe and juju and soul and all that. Old wood. It has a smell. It's he uses a lot of old equipment. Like all the vocals were cut on RCA mics from the 30s. So just like it definitely has a vibe, and he's trying to, like Dave Cobb has a sound, and people who like Dave Cobb records like it because of he's putting mics in the room, and it's not a lot of effects, so not a lot of stuff in the box, and not that we're trying to sound like Dave Cobb, but he's trying to create a thing that's his, and I don't know, I dig it.
When I talked to Brett, a while back about doing some music with him, and those are a lot of the things that he brought up was like what he was trying to focus on was like the sound, creating the room, the environment, the equipment, and everything that I've seen from you guys, like the settings, the pictures that you've shared, and things like that. It looks like you're stepping back in time, and it's amazing. And to hear some of the albums that are coming out of there and the songs that are coming out of there, it's like he's making his own stamp on things, and I love that.
Yeah, it's and it's nice to be able to hear it across different artists. So like Nicky Diamonds is a blues artist that's also got a song coming out this weekend, and it's kind of got the same, like I don't know. I think kind of what he's trying to do is it's like he asked a bunch of people to be involved. Some said yes, some said no, and then finally he's like, you know what? I got my stable. He shut the door and is like, this is our squad, and kind of thinking about it like Stax or like Sun Records or something like that, where we got 4 or 5 artists. None of them are really the same, but sonically, like we're kind of putting out the same wavelength of stuff. I mean, vibey is like what I keep going back to. Like he likes saturated with echo and stuff, and I just like it gives me a real 50s vibe,
Mm-hmm.
And he's not colored it up a whole lot either. It's like, I mean, And I kept telling him, like, I've got some hotshot guitar friends, and I've got, Anna from the Creekers. She can come play fiddle, or I've got some guy. He's like, no, I don't think we need any of that stuff.
Yeah, back in the back in the 50s and 60s, you'd bring a couple people with you to a studio. They'd record you, they'd press you out a little record, and you take it to the radio DJ down the street. I mean, that's kind of what the feeling that I think is missing in a lot of stuff that's happening these days on mainstream country radio, is the fact that they, you got to spend $100,000. You got to have like all these top, artists on the bill just to even get heard. And then on the flip side of it, now we're kind of going back to the drawing board where it's like, okay, what sounds the best? Why are we doing this in the first place? And I think
Go ahead.
I think that's one thing that Brett's trying to do too with the Alabama Sound Company is like, how did this whole thing start? What were the bones behind it? Like, why was it successful?
Because we're only talking about 60 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not of music, recorded music, but like rock and roll and electric instruments and those kinds of things. Like this, it's not like this was here when George Washington was president. Like so it's still very new, and in the amount of progress that was made in technology. I don't know. I feel like now with AI, where it's almost indiscernible whether it's a real thing or not a real thing. What I love about the process that we just went through was, and it was out of necessity. Again, I'm 6 hours away. I had like 16 hours that I could work in the studio. So I might do 2 or 3 vocal, takes. But it's like, if it was a good take all the way through with a couple of little flubs, we kept it. And for me, I've done the hyper produced thing where I did 100 takes, and they comped all of the best parts of every take and put it into one immaculate, magical vocal track that was compressed and all that I could never reproduce live. Like, it was impossible because I had to breathe somewhere in there, and I couldn't do all the runs and followed up with another run. So it was like, in some ways, I can take these songs I've recorded, and if you like that version of it, and obviously it's a real person because maybe there's a pitch thing that happens or my voice cracks or whatever, I can maybe make it sound better live than it sounded on the record. And even Brett said that. He goes, if you like it the way it is right now, imagine if you had a full band, how much further you could take it in a live setting. But he said, for this, I just want the song and the words and all that to be really out front and make people like that first, not your hotshot guitar player or fiddle player.
It's interesting you said a couple of things about bringing it back to vintage sort of recording and vintage sort of mics, and I think in the early sort of 2000s you saw a massive surge in that mass produced, that real sort of fake recording stuff, and then all of a sudden now you're looking on everybody's, some of the newer artists that are coming out that all want to record with vintage stuff. They all want to record on vintage mics, and they try and get that rough but incredible sound, but they just don't know how to get
isn't it funny because it sounded like that because it was crude and because it just did what it did, and it had limitations. And if you scream too hard into a ribbon mic, it's going to distort, and the ribbon will do that. That's the Beatles were the best at taking what they had and really kind of stretching it. Because I saw a post the other day, a guy was trying to recreate the rooftop sound of John Lennon's guitar, and he went through all sorts of different things and compressors and in the box stuff, and it's cool. John Lennon was just plugged into a guitar and had it cranked to 11, and I don't know, that's the way the amp sounded. So I think it is. You can kind of go down a rabbit hole, and it gets kind of wild and crazy with vintage equipment. I mean, there's some good, like, what's the name of, like, Kempers and stuff that are replicating amps that are digital like footprints of like what a 70s, twin reverb Silverface sounds like. But it's kind of nice just to have I don't know. It comes down to this. Either the song's good or it's not. Uh, the singer is good or he's not. And maybe he doesn't even have to be good because the story's good. And for me, like drums are important, like a good thick drum sound, a nice, syrupy bass. It's really preference at that point because you can make it sound like anything. I think what I was trying to do is not make it sound like anything that, like what happens if you don't go in and say, I want this to sound like Butch Walker or Third Eye Blind or Randy Travis, because that's what everybody's doing. They're like, hey, this worked. Let's recreate that. So what happens if you just go in and you say, hey, you know what if we did this to the song? Let's try this. Let's take this part out. What if we take the guitar completely out of it? And it's been refreshing because I have to be real careful. Like, this isn't a country record, right? I open my mouth and it's country. I live in the country. I love country music, but I have to be real careful and not like just pigeonhole this as a country record because I don't think it is. I write a lot of pop, like my songs have a lot of pop sensibility too, and I don't think that's a dirty word. So I think by doing less instrumentally, you eliminate that immediate go. Well, there's the fiddle and steel. It's a country album. And even Americana is like, I don't even know what that label means. I may be getting myself in trouble by not being real clear with what this record is, but I don't know. Again, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Oh my God, he said it. Well, we've had that on the podcast, haven't we, with a lot of the guests and the way that we frame who we are and what we do. And, we've said it loads of times. It started off as the UK's kind of country community, but then it's not country. A lot of it is far from. It's Americana. Like you say, what is Americana? Not really sure myself. Roots music, to incorporate the blues. We have a lot of blues artists on. But yeah, it's nice to hear, what you're doing, Josh. I think if you go back to your old stuff, like with Flawed and, Jericho Woods, that's a very different sound to, the stuff that you've done recently before Alabama Sound Company. And now the stuff that I've heard that you're doing recently is even more different. So it's nice to kind of go through that journey.
I don't know. I've heard people say that, like, you don't know who you are if you change up genres and sounds and things like that. Like that's a problem. I mean, I've done a rock record. I've done an acoustic record. I've done rock and country. I've done more. I don't know. I think you write songs and they're built for different things, and the same guys presenting them. Like you could single out my vocals, isolate it on everything I've ever done, and it sounds the same. Structurally, I structure all my songs pretty much the same. It really just comes down to what does this song, what visually and orally does it make you think of, and like with the rock record, I had a bunch of songs that just didn't fit on a country record or some other things, and I said let's stack up some guitars and put some kick-ass drums on it, But with this, I don't know. I just there's nothing wrong with being associated with a genre, but I think this is something I've loved about coming over to England and the fans over there is that it's just kind of, it's like genre neutral, right? Is that a term that we can use?
You can make whatever you want to
do
make.
What you like.
We're yes.
Go for it.
We're a weird bunch over here, though, mate. As you probably discovered when you did some of the live shows,
but different. Nobody cared. Like I didn't feel like I had that pressure of saying, well, ladies and gentlemen, Josh Mitcham, country artist from Kentucky, near Appalachia. It wasn't. They just sat back and they listened, and I mean they had their pint, and if it was good, they clapped. If it was just okay, they moved
and they
on
went
to the next
wild.
bar.
Boo!
I did.
Don't undersell it. Don't undersell it. They went wild.
That's what I felt. That's one thing I felt was great about the UK crowd was the fact that like they are a listening crowd. right? They like to party on one hand, but they also like to hear a good story. And they, when it would quieten the room, like, Josh, I saw videos of you like playing some songs out there, and it would quieten the room. Everybody would listen. I experienced it myself. It was like on the flip side of things in the UK, there's a lot of tribute acts. There's a lot of mainstream country radio that's kind of picking up in popularity. But what I still think it's kind of the Wild West in a way in the UK right now, because as far as musically go, country music goes. Josh, I think what you're doing is brilliant because of your new stuff. You're like, I really don't care. It's like, I'm going to put this out there. It's kind of genre neutral in a way, but it's about the story. It's about the voice. It's about the song in particular, and taking it to a crowd where they can kind of, let's say that you do some live shows out there and it's more of a country crowd. By your backing band, you can make it however you want it to. You can either rock it up or bring a country band with you.
Well, and that's the thing too. It's like for the last 2 years, I've basically been doing it as a solo acoustic act anyway. So it's like, what's the point of having in these hooks that I can't, a guitar hook that I can't replicate, that people like fall in love with those things. Again, it's like I'm on some festivals this summer where I'm going to be having to play full band because that was the requirement. And I'm excited about sitting down with some of those people and saying, hey, here are these songs. What are we going to do?
Mm-hmm.
And again, it like, I don't think it's going to be country. I don't know what it's going to be. But Brett made a good point. He was like, he said, would John Mayer have been on radio now? And I'm not a John Mayer hater, but it's like his first record. Would it be Americana now? Would it be pop? Would it, I have emulated the fact that he just does whatever style of record he wants to do. I feel the same way. Well, all my favorite people, even Dave Grohl is like, hey, I think I'm going to do an instrumental thing, or I'm going to do a death metal record, or I'm going to whatever. But I just feel like with what even is authenticity, right? I think if you are pandering to or trying to package something as a particular genre that's not necessarily, I don't know. And am I making any sense, Lance? Like,
yes. Here's my takeaway from what you just said. Like there are some people when they sit down and they write a song, they're like, who can I appeal to the most? Instead of being like, how do I feel, knowing that there's a handful of people out there that feel the same way. And now that they got the song, how can I look to fit into the group that is making the most headway? And I've seen that, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I've chased that some too, right?
But I think I have too. Like it's a normal thing. But honestly, when you get to that point, and I think that from what I've heard you say, it's similar to the way that I feel right now in my career, is the fact that, like, do I care? Yes. A little bit, right? I do care that people.
Oh, 100%.
I want people to listen.
Like,
but am I getting closer to what I am as a human being, as an artist, and what I want to say? Yes, I'm getting closer to that all the time.
Yeah, I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to be unlistenable, and I'm not trying to be ironic or like a visual artist might do something where they're trying to like shock you or whatever. I'm not trying to be that person, but I'm just like, I think I'm not there's good music and bad music kind of person either. Like, there's music you like, there's music I like. Sometimes it overlaps. Sometimes there are, hopefully my songs do kind of cross over between country and Americana and folk and pop. I would love it if it had a multi-genre appeal, right? But ultimately, there's going to be a certain group of people that, like Lance said, that interact with it and are like, this is, like, I don't know. I remember how I felt about music that I discovered, and like they became like your person. Like, I'm a big Not a Surf fan. They're not a huge band, and it's not like want to keep them to myself, like the old Dave Matthews fans, like they get mad whenever he would sell out an arena. They liked it when it was small, but I don't know. I would love to have a little niche, like devoted group of fans who continue to support me, who are excited about new stuff coming out, and honestly, I just want to be able to keep doing this forever at a manageable level. Like this is something else I told Brett. I'm like, all right, I'm not going to play 300 days a year. I'm not gonna quit my job again, because I did that one time. I want to be able to kind of do it on my terms and be very serious about it. But kind of like goals for 2026 are to not play more, but play more impactffully, be more purposeful with the dates that I do book. Let's make sure they have more impact. Not go to the UK 3 times maybe, but go one time and make sure that I've got my shit together, and it's very impactful. So it's like I want to level everything up this year, and part of that means saying no to some stuff. Part of that means being said no to, because I'm shooting my shot on a couple things and they're saying no things. But I feel like it feels like a climb, and that's what I want. Lance, maybe you're this way too. I feel like with our contemporaries, I have to keep myself from looking at posts every day and going, man, I really wanted to be on Laurel Cove this year, or I really wanted to open up for that artist when they came through. But you know what? I've booked a few things this year. And what happens if I got every festival this year that I wanted? Well, then next year I wouldn't have anything. They're not going to bring me back for 2 years in a row. So it's like I'm really trying to count those blessings and write those things down. And I set goals last year, very clear goals going into this record release. And some of them I've already hit. But it's like, if I can do those things, then moving into 2027, then level up again. I don't know. That seems simple, but playing all the time didn't help me. Definitely playing all the time at the same, 20 places necessarily didn't help me to the same crowd, especially if it was a 3-hour gig where I was playing covers just to make $300. I don't know. My time is valuable now to me. Like, I'm trying to put a real priority on that. I don't know. I just will stay home sometimes.
One thing that helps me, like some of the stuff you're saying, man, I relate to it 100%. Like the comparison of what everybody else is doing, sometimes it's kind of like makes you feel a little bit anxious. At least it does me. But the way that I think about it is when you're driving down the interstate, we're all going the same direction. Do you care where anybody else is going? No, you have in mind where you're going to go. You're on your own. You're in your own lane. Sometimes you share the same lane. Sometimes you're right next to each other, and sometimes they take an exit. And sometimes you take an exit and they go on. It's like we're all on our own pathway, and that's the way that I feel joy about it, is the fact that I got 0 festivals this year. Last year I had probably 4 or 5 of them that I played. This year, nothing. On one hand, I'm discouraged by it, to be honest. But on the other, I'm like, this is a building year. I'm putting more music out. I've got to, who am I as Lance Rogers as an artist? It's a time to focus on the art, focus on what I'm doing with my family, and what's the most important things to me. And yeah, playing a festival would be cool or whatever. But honestly, I think that who knows what could happen 3 years from now, right? A lot can happen in a short amount of time. So that's
5 years ago, you would be very happy with you right now. And
right.
And I have to keep reminding myself of that too. Like, man, look at all the cool shit you have going on.
Yeah.
Like this is enviable. And I have to just keep my envy in check. Because it's easy for me to say because I'm not rich and famous and playing stadiums. But I don't think I want that. Like pretty famous in the FFA world, and all those kids know who I am. Like, I'm pretty popular in my hometown, as far as I know. Haven't pissed any of those people off. But as far as like stardom, I'm pretty happy with my life. So I'd have to, like I said, just have to keep it in check. Go like, kind of slap yourself around and go,
Yeah.
You don't want to play. You don't want to play that far away and be gone that many days. Like my daughter is her senior year playing basketball. We got a really good team. She's been playing varsity for 4 or 5 years, and this is the last run. I've had some opportunities to play some shows. I'm like, no, I can't play that one because I missed a big game. I've only got so many of those left. Just trying to keep things in perspective because nobody else cares. Like they're not, even if they enjoyed the show, like, they could have seen, they would have been just as happy if somebody else was playing maybe, except I'm the one that's taking the hit because I don't know. There's very minimal impact by some of those things when you talk about what you're giving up, right?
That's very true.
I think, even with what we do, no one cares as much of what you're doing than you, for the most part. And it's an interesting thing because, you're talking about your trajectory going forwards. And, I think we're men of a certain age now, aren't we? So,
Well, and we're, and if there's managers listening, they're probably like, I don't want to work with that guy. But I'm not unmanageable. But as far as like what I'm able to accomplish myself, like this is about all I can manage, right? This is about all I can do, and not get divorced and not miss important, Look, because my kids are going to be out of the house for too long, and then I could probably just be gone all the time if I want. And I'm kind of building towards that, if I'm being honest. Like I can retire in a few years from a job where I'll have a pension and all those things where not everybody can do that. David Prince, who is a friend and a mentor, you know him as Laid Back Country Picker. He played music when he could while he was still working, and him and his wife just retired as teachers, and now they're living the life, going all over the place, and the check still comes in the mail, but they may be in Australia. So I'm really trying to curate a lifestyle that lets me do all the things that I want, curate experiences when I do leave and I do go play, make sure that it's special and that, like I said, it's worth doing and it's worth my time. It's either got to make me money, it's got to make some progress, or it's got to be something that I want to do.
Mm-hmm. I think those experiences, man, they mean everything. Like going back to visiting you guys out in the UK. So it may be a very small thing for you to like go across town and go to one of our shows, or meet somebody and a singer songwriter from the United States and hear them for the first time. But look what happened. We became friends, right? And now it's like, who knows what the future holds? Like, just because of that one thing, that one show, or multiple shows, now it's like our travel will change. Like, you guys come to the United States, we're going to hang out, we're going to go to shows together.
Listen,
festival.
I'm scheduling the fall ramble around Mark and Gemma, my friends from England, their trip over to the U.S. because they're wanting to go to Bourbon and Beyond and Louder Than Life. And they're like, if you could get this band to play and do it during this period of time, that would be awesome. So I'm like, okay, I get to make that call. So
that's cool.
It has. It's like being able to take my family over there. And Dad, like he went out west with me for my my little run I did in Colorado and Utah and Idaho, Montana, out that way. I think we're planning a Texas run in April. He's gonna go with me on that. Like that's makes it worth doing.
Yeah. I was gonna just say to TJ, did you notice that he said his two friends from England, and he organised
And it
the ramp.
wasn't us.
Yeah, and it wasn't us. And I was like, oh, he's going to say something nice. But
Two
then I
of
was
my
also going to
friends.
say,
I'm taking down that picture right
Two.
there. Yeah.
Two
the
of my
only two
friends from
friends
England.
I have in England. I'm joking.
Well,
I
let's,
was going to say,
brings
Hey,
in-
you're gonna make me say some words that'll get us kicked off.
yeah, I know. Yeah, I was that close to saying it. Anyway, I was going to say to TJ, you know, we are, no word of a lie, we're in the company of two living legends and two icons that we feel, anyway.
Did you hear that, Josh?
mentors and icons.
who are we talking about here?
Yeah, I'm wondering.
Me and you. No, Lance and Josh. You know, we're in the company of them now, and you know, sometimes I step back and I think, I wonder what people feel like when they meet us, and actually the words was effing miserable actually, but
Highly
we,
doubt
you
it.
know, you look at plans going ahead, and it's so nice to hear you on how you take it, how you see things going, and how you see your own careers going forward. And Lance, you're absolutely spot on. You know, you said 3 years ago, you know, we were sort of sitting there. I've known him for years, and then all of a sudden we start doing this nonsense, talking over a microphone, pissed most of the time, and now we're sitting in the room with you guys. You know, it's incredible where life goes.
Well, and even for me, it was like I thought my music career was basically washed up and over with post COVID, because the bands that I'd been in that had all this success, like it wasn't happening anymore. And I kind of felt like God had given me my couple shots at it, and it was done. And you know, and even coming to England was just a decision, you know, and that's the way most of these things are. It's a million little decisions that add up to something significant along the way. And in my role as Western Kentucky ambassador for Kentucky Music Hall of Fame, I don't know. I think it's just like you just got to go do stuff. Like, quit talking about it. Quit, get your shovel out and put it in the dirt and try to build something, because whenever you start, you're already behind maybe, but you're not late, because it's your thing that you're building, and that's a hard thing. It's hard to not feel the urgency all the time, like, oh my God, I got to get this record out. Like, Brett got tired of me messaging him, and we did finally have to have like some solid dates and be like, okay,
Yeah.
it needs to be done by this date, but you just feel like the sands are slipping away, and they're not. Like, you just really have to look at what it is.
Ooh, have we lost the Kentucky ambassador?
We lost him. There he is.
Here I am. My daughter is trying to call me. It's all good. I'm back.
You're back in the room. What were you saying then, mate?
It's just really all about what you're trying to build, and again, setting those goals and looking at what's realistic for you, and then trying to level up.
I do like what you were saying about, the taking a chance, going out and doing something that you haven't done before. I found that's the truth, and that's where I feel like I've gained my most momentum at all. Is like, when, in the Kentucky scene, when I first started out, there's kind of an influx of people that come in and support you, and then they kind of like see somebody else and they go that way, and then all of a sudden you feel deflated. But what I feel is like I had to get outside of Kentucky, because there were so many people that were doing the singer-songwriter thing. I had to get out of Kentucky for a while and go. I traveled up to the Northwest. I traveled out west. I traveled to Florida and did a route through there. And by doing those things, it kind of helped people back home in Kentucky see like that I was actively out there doing the thing. And they didn't want it. There's a real FOMO kind of thing that builds to where artists, if they get out there in like the local scene sees you out there doing things all over the place and they're missing out on it, they want to start booking you because they
Yeah.
do not want to miss out on a homegrown Kentucky boy that is out there playing music all over the world. If
Well,
they, if,
and I
you know
do
what I'm
think
saying?
it too. It's a situation of them seeing you taking yourself serious and trying to do the work and uh, and not just trying to latch on to, because that's something Rich told me. He said, open it up for people that are coming through doesn't really help you, right? Uh, you know, if they picked you up and you got to go play 4 or 5 or 6 shows with them, yeah, that's cool. But he's like, just like continue to play the same things in your hometown. If you're not already and that's something booking agents have told me too. Like, you're not selling out your local market. I can't do anything for you. So it's like, and part of that too is like you'll never be famous in your hometown. And going to England, I think even like here locally, people who have known me for my whole life and known that I've played music, never really could see a distinction between being a garage band and being a stadium band. Like there was no like sliding scale of like what level of artist you were. Then they're like, hey, you went over to another country, man, that's kind of a big deal. And I'm like, not really. Like I played even smaller and shittier places there than I do here.
Yeah, you went to Nottingham, mate.
Yeah, see? So, but again, it's that, and I'm not trying to create an illusion either. I did those things because I wanted to do them. But it does give an agent or a manager or another band the impression that, hey, this guy's like, he's just going to go do it, whether he has help or not. And then there comes a point too, and this is an advice to young artists as well. There's a certain point where maybe you don't need a manager, maybe you don't need a booking agent, maybe you have, especially now with social media and all the different tools that we have. Obviously, there's a certain level that requires those people, but like in the space that I'm at, man, like I don't have enough money to spread around to those people, and even Nick has said, to go to the next level from where he's at, because I keep thinking, I'm like, man, you should be huge. He's like, yeah, but then my production costs go up, the amount of people that I have on my team goes up, so money gets spread out more. Like, it's a real conscious decision for him to kind of stay in that sweet spot of, I don't know, and I'm sure he would love to be playing huge, large venues too, but he's got a little baby girl and he's got, his partner, and yeah, you have to think about all those things. Really,
he can also he can sell out any venue in Kentucky right now, pretty much. Like anything that he plays is gonna sell out.
He's a smart guy, and he's got a great festival as well. He's Sleeping in the Woods. Are you there, Josh? This year?
Yeah, I'm stoked about that.
Yeah, that looks a really cool venue.
Yeah.
We were hoping to get out there one year to attend. So we need a place to stay. Hint, hint, guys. I know you've got better friends from the UK, but
yeah.
Only friends.
Lance is actually closer to.
Yeah, I got
He's passing us off.
extra room. If you need it, I got an extra room.
We got a shed that you can stay in. Yeah, thanks, guys. How are we doing in the comments, Ronnie? I can't see anything.
We've got 0 actually.
I was going to say, just make them
I
up.
didn't want to
Make
talk
up
to
a
him
question.
anyway.
Yeah.
Just make something up. They won't know.
Hey,
Nothing about the dating site, nothing like that.
Something about
say,
who's pregnant.
Do I need to take my shirt off?
I don't know.
I got a lot of views on my frozen snow angel thing.
Oh, mate, I've seen you with your shirt off at the beach,
yeah.
and it looked like you were still wearing a sweater. So maybe we won't do that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we've been quite deep so far. It's been good.
It's been quite deep, haven't we?
Yeah, and I think what we tend to do in the middle is Ronnie breaks it up with a bit of fun normally. So I don't know. Have you got a game?
Fun.
A bit of fun.
I have actually got a game. I do want to ask. There is a question that I wanted to ask you.
I'm going to grab a drink while you're doing it.
I forgot the. Hold on, you got to listen to this. Put them back on. So TJ made a comment about something washing over him, which is a phrase I've never heard, to be honest. So you mentioned about singing, and you said about any artist hates listening to them singing, listening to themselves singing. Now, I know from my point of view what we sound like, TJ especially. If a cat got run over and then got reversed over, that would be us singing. But listening to you guys, it baffles me. I just think I'd be like jamming away and having a great time.
Because I'm not
to
listening to it objectively. So I'm listening to it like a builder looks at his house, right? And if it's a quarter-inch off, it's off square all over So I'm not listening to it like I would listen to a new record by somebody else. I don't My ear will correct their imperfections because I want them to sound great because I love them.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm listening to myself, I'm just being critical, and so therefore I can't enjoy it.
Yeah. Okay. Is that the same view, Lance?
Well, there's a painful part of songwriting, and for me to, my memory, I don't know, the way that I remember my own songs. Sometimes I'll write so many songs and I'll put them out and I don't even remember them. I have to sit down and I have to play them out 100 times in a row, or listen to them 100 times in a row after I record them. And sometimes it's mind numbing to remember a song that I've written, honestly. And it's, if I go back through some of the stuff that I've done on social media, especially 5 years ago when I was, 5, 6 years ago when I was just trying to make some noise, and I've learned so much since then, and my voice has changed so much since then. But it's a part of growth. It's a part of the process. And if you don't have that, I think you get better from hearing yourself in a situation where you're not as good, And now that I've had a shit ton of shows that I've played, and I'm writing more than I've ever written in my life right now. There's a learning curve to it, and I think your voice your voice adapts over time.
Well, and I think when you start out, you try to sound like all the things that you like, and so I sounded like Garth Brooks when I first started singing because he was my favorite, and then I sounded like somebody else because that's who I was, or this is what people you have to go through that whole thing to come out on the end and sound like yourself. And again, that goes back to the whole authenticity thing and the whole not trying to make a country song or a rock song or whatever as a songwriter. It's how does it come out? This is my voice when I speak to you. So how do I present that as a singer? So you just try to do it without affectation and all that stuff. And it takes a long time to get there. I think I've only sounded like myself for the last 5 years. Before that, I was just versions of myself, kind of emulating other things or singing to the song. Yep, I need to sing it like this because it's a chicken picking country song,
Right.
And instead of just going, no, this is how it sounds. This is how I sound on everything now.
It is a interesting question. You'll be the judge of that. So we have a unique thing in the UK where, obviously we got a lot of UK country artists and Americana, and they kind of want to emulate what you guys are doing, or the sound at least. And there's a lot of affectation on the accents that they put on. What's the kind of thoughts on that? Because there's been a lot of debate, and I find it interesting because they say, well, you've kind of got to put that on to be, to get anywhere, to be successful, you've got to kind of put that persona or that affectation on. I mean, personally, I disagree. I think just sing with your own voice, and if it's a good song, like you say,
it doesn't sound right though. So
early on, when I was in a band, and we were trying to get signed and trying to do all those things and trying to get booked out touring with other acts, you would pick your covers because the general listening public, and this is no shade, but they need you to give them an idea of what you are. An original song maybe doesn't give them that because it maybe doesn't sound like anything else that they've listened to before, which is a good thing. But for us back then, it was like play a Zach Brown song, not Zach Bryan, a Zach Brown song, because that's kind of the lane we were in. And then people go, oh, okay, I know what this band is, or I know what they sound like. As far as so you have to be real careful about what covers you choose maybe to put in your set, because that's going to color how people perceive you too. He's sang a Nick Jamerson song, so he's an Appalachian songwriter. But as far as the cover band stuff, I think they're just feeling a need, because those, Luke Combs isn't coming and touring and hitting all the football stadiums in England, right? He'll come and play one show and then that's it. Laney Wilson isn't coming and touring all around that country. So it's like they're actually doing country acts a favor, and that's why they're getting endorsed by those people, right? It's like,
yeah. They are. I mean, some of them are big. We got one guy that's gone out to America that is officially endorsed by, I think it's Luke Combs.
Yeah.
But I find it very odd, because normally when you do a tribute band or act, that person's dead. Hence why
we have them here. I mean,
back.
like there's a Foo Fighters cover band coming to the Borough in Lexington here pretty soon, and there's the Fleetwood Mac one that's always coming through. There's AC/DC ones. I mean, it's not. And here's the other thing too. Like, there's some fantastic cover bands that have no interest in being an authentic original band. And that's their lane. Like, they play your weddings and they play, the clubs every Friday and Saturday night, and they have the best time, and they just try to be great at that. It's okay if somebody doesn't want to be an artist and write their own music. And that even goes for people who are actually entertainers, the people who don't write their own songs, but just really like to sing and perform and affect people. So that doesn't bother me.
It's kind of like fast food chains, right? We have, you have different restaurants, you have different fast food places. They all have a hamburger, they all have a cheeseburger, and the people that are making the most money are the people that have the biggest franchise, and they're selling them all over the world. But are they the best? The best cheeseburger I've ever had in my life was in somebody's backyard off a grill.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm talking about. It's like, and the guy that's like, hey, you want a cheeseburger right off my grill, and it's like, oh, this is the best thing I've ever had in my life. Is that guy going to be able to reproduce that every time? If he takes it seriously, he can, and he's going to go around from city to city and sell his burgers. And until somebody says, man, you need to have your own franchise, until that person with big dollar bills will put an influx into his brand, he's just going to be making great burgers in his backyard. And that's kind of where we're at. Like, we're traveling all over the place. We're selling our music. We're playing our music everywhere, and people like it. But there is a tipping point where it's like, you can have a great product and everybody in your backyard hears it. But until somebody sees enough value in it to make it like, we need to get this to everybody. That's the point where we're at. But are we having a good time? Are we having like a successful time, like making hamburgers and cheeseburgers in our backyard? Yeah. But
I wonder if anybody else is going to give us a tribute of Ronnie and TJ.
Well, I thought we could do tributes of Josh and Lance in the UK. We love our parody videos and stuff.
Yes.
You wait for the next video, guys. Shall we do our game, Ronnie?
Go on, you're bursting.
You teased me earlier,
seams, didn't you?
I am. I'm just
bursting to do a game.
I love a game. I don't know if Lance and Josh want to play a game, but they don't have much choice.
Hey, I'm going to be honest. I've got like 15 or 20 minutes for like a hard out because I've got to go pick up my daughter. So
that's fine, mate. We'll do a quick game, and the rest of the questions for Lance anyway. So it's all gravy, dude. So should we do it then, Ronnie? Because he's not got much time.
Soul gravy, lady gravy. Go on.
Shall I hit it?
Ladies and gentlemen,
This is the Rugged Revival TJ versus True and False game. So, because this is a very, very special episode, you've got two choices. Would you like TJ versus True or False game, which is random questions, or would you like TJ versus TJ Diggs?
Who's the question?
Take the piss out of DJ, basically.
I'll
tell you what, we'll mix it up.
True or false?
Right, let's do. We'll mix it up. We'll do a bit of both. So, question
Why'd you
one.
ask us if you were going to do both?
Who's answering these?
Well, I want to take the piss out of TJ as well. I was going to give you the choice, and I thought, no, actually, no, why not? So, question one: a group of crows is called a murder. True or false, Josh?
True.
Lance?
True.
TJ?
True.
Question two: bananas are berries, but strawberries are not. Josh? True or false?
They're a fruit. They just have seeds on the outside. They're angiosperms.
What a nerd.
Lance?
False.
TJ?
I come up with a question. True. Let's just go true.
The Eiffel Tower gets slightly taller in summer due to heat expansion. True or false, Josh?
That's what she said.
Don't think that's an answer, but I'm going to go for it anyway. Lance?
That's why I wear tighter shorts in the summertime.
TJ?
True. You're back in the summertime, aren't you, Lance? So we might have to avoid you at that point.
Octopuses. Question 4. Octopuses have 3 hearts. Josh, true or false?
True.
Lance?
It sounds crazy enough to be true.
TJ?
I want to win, so false. Let's hope it's false.
Question 5. Scotland's national animal is the unicorn. True or false? Josh?
Why not? True.
Lance?
It's haggis, right?
National
false.
animal? TJ?
Let's go for true.
Question 6. The dot over the letters I and J is called a tittle. True or false? Josh?
I have no idea, but I'm going to say false because that sounds stupid.
Lance?
It sounds enough like nipple to say true.
TJ?
I like that logic. I'm going to steal Lance's answer and go true.
Right, I'm gonna finish with them, and I'm just going to give you 2 of TJ. So, if I told you TJ will turn up to a meeting early and get himself a coffee just so he doesn't have to buy anyone else one when they arrive, is that true or false?
True.
True.
TJ, is that true or false?
I did it once and I told you in secret. So
It's another one of TJ. TJ said, I'll keep this one short, and then spoken for at least 10 minutes more. True or false? Josh?
Well, him keeping it short sounds accurate, so I'm going to say true.
I can relate. I've been there, and I will say true.
TJ?
that's pretty cold. Yeah, I do waffle on, as we know.
I'm going to do one more of TJ's. Let's go for this one. TJ has told a story so slowly that someone died of old age during the middle of it. Josh, true or false?
True.
Lance?
I will say false, but it could happen.
Many a times. TJ?
Well, at the beginning of this podcast, Lance wasn't grey, so I think
That's true.
proof is in the pudding, maybe.
His soul died when he joined this podcast. Anyway, so the answers are: a group of crows is called a murder. That is absolutely true. Bananas are berries, but strawberries are not. True. The Eiffel Tower gets slightly taller in summer due to heat expansion. True. Octopuses have 3 hearts. True. Scotland's national animal is a unicorn, which is true. The dot over the letters I and J is called a tittle. That is true. TJ has said, I'll keep this one short, and then spoken for at least 6 more minutes. True. Or 10 more minutes even. TJ has told a story so slowly that someone died of old age during the middle of it. Absolutely true. And then TJ will turn up to a meeting early and get himself a coffee just so he doesn't have to buy anyone else when they arrive, and then gets them to buy the second one. Absolutely true. So
breakfast.
the winners,
They're all true.
the winners of this episode is Josh and Lance. Well done. Congratulations, Josh and Lance.
All right. Okay.
Actually, TJ, you weren't too far behind. You were only one question out. So there you go.
Tried to be different on that
Congratulations.
one.
That's
Yeah,
what fucked
well
me up,
done.
wasn't it? Oh, damn it. I'm trying to find some booze on here, but I haven't got any. So we'll
No,
just have to-
there you go. Anyway,
Yeah.
you've messed up all the other sound effects, but it doesn't matter.
There you
Right,
go.
Josh.
Oh, we have got that.
Did you say booze or booze?
I love that one.
Thank you for playing that game. It was lovely. Thank you so much.
It was lovely.
It was absolutely lovely. It was. Back again in the UK. That's it, really. Josh, if you've got to go, you might as well shoot off. But do you know what? It's been amazing. Anything you want to add before you disappear and
You
leave
got time for a
us?
song?
Yeah.
I
Did you want
do
to
if
try?
Quick,
Or
do
not?
it.
It'll come through. Let's see. Do you want me to do the song that's coming out?
What do you want to do? I know the song that I love, and it's not out yet. It's that Words to Say, I think it's called. But this isn't my show, so you do
I like
you.
Out of My Mind too. It's cool.
And I've been taking my time with you, afraid to say anything true, yeah. And I've been looking for the right time to say I love you. And I think I want you to be mine forever. Ooh. And I think I want to spend my life together. Ooh. 'Cause you keep giving me chances, and I keep missing my chances. If I'm not careful, I'm gonna blow it. Yeah. And I think I want you to be mine forever. Ooh. And I think I wanna spend my life together. Ooh. And I think I want you to be mine forever. And I think I wanna spend my life together. Ooh. 'Cause I've been taking my time with you, afraid to say anything true, yeah.
Woo! We should do the backing vocals for that.
Yeah.
I messaged you on, I think it was on TikTok when I heard it. I was like, what is that song, Josh? I was sure it was like some 90s nostalgic feel-good song.
Well,
I love
you know, and that's the thing too. It's like when I sing that, I'm like, yeah, that's not a country song, and that's not. I don't know what it is. It's a
It's great. That's what it is. It's incredible.
Ronnie.
And we love it.
it. Suck up.
it's a
Fuck off.
I don't know. And I was a big like Third Eye Blind fan, and I was a big like Tonic and some of those bands that were more like pop rock during the late
Yeah.
'90s. And I don't know. It seems like that's where I default back to sometimes.
You can hear that in what you do, mate. hopefully, I mean, the justice is coming through with the system itself. But otherwise, we'll hopefully get another recording from you and put it out there. But yeah, did you want to do another one, or have you got to shoot, mate? It's all down to you, dude.
I can. I'll do the one that's coming out on Friday.
Yeah, cool.
It's called "Out of My Mind." It's a song, like, honestly, and Lance probably understands this too. When you start the recording process, you have like 10 or 15 songs, and you start cutting them down. And I ended up writing like 2 or 3 more songs in the process that took the place of some that I'd already chosen. And this was one of them that was written later and probably recorded last. So that's just how it goes. Especially if you take 6 or 7 months to record a record, that you find new songs in the middle. So anyway, Out of My Mind. She walked in. I was looking for somebody else. She stopped me in my tracks. I just had to have it for myself. And I said, baby, are you going anywhere tonight? She walked right up to me, smiled and just walked on by. Now that I have seen nothing can go between you and the rest of my world, if you don't say yes to me, girl, I know that I'll go crazy if you don't tell me, baby, is this how it's supposed to feel? Baby, if this ain't real, I try to play it cool, say all the right things. It's like I'm in high school again, chasing the homecoming queen. So tell me, baby, are you doing anything tonight? Come on, baby, don't let this just pass by. Now that I see nothing can come between you and the rest of my world, if you don't say yes to me, girl, I know that I'll go crazy if you don't tell me, baby, is this how it's supposed to feel? Baby, if this ain't real, I'm going out of my mind, out of my mind, out of my mind, out of my mind.
Woo! Yeah, dude. You know what's funny? Like when we have people perform, like we used to do it on the podcast of old, and people don't know where to look sometimes when you're playing, but I love to look you right in the eyes and like you're singing to me, Josh.
Like an furtive rat.
Yeah, that's why I looked away.
I knew it. They're awesome songs. So before you kind of head
Amazing.
off, where can we find? Where can people hear you play those songs live?
The next show I have is actually opening up for Sunday Best at Louisville at the Mercury Ballroom. That's February the 7th.
Hell yeah. I want to make it to that one.
Yeah, write that one down. Let me know. Holler at me that week, and I'll see what kind of guest list I have.
Hell yeah.
Put Lance on press. Yeah.
I have. I'm playing Sleeping in the Woods. I'm also playing Master Musicians Festival. I'm going to try to squeeze in a few other shows in between there, but like I said, I feel like as long as I'm trying to build my presence up online, I'll probably start doing more live stream type stuff once the record starts popping out. I was supposed to be playing Whiskey Jam in Nashville this Thursday, but I think they're going to push that because there's still a lot of people without power and that kind of stuff down there. So hopefully that happens the next couple of weeks too. But really just focusing on getting this record out and really pushing it. I don't know.
Exciting stuff, mate. Well, yeah. I mean, we should do more lives ourselves. This has been fun.
Yeah.
It's nice to not have a script and not have 50 chances to do something. Just let her rip, tater chip.
That's right.
Well, guys, I've had the best time, and I'm glad that I got my truck unstuck so that I can make it in here and do this with you.
Yeah, thanks
It's
for the
so
time,
nice to
mate.
see you.
Enjoy the rest of your day, man.
All right, buddy. I appreciate all
Look
the help.
after yourself.
And again, it'll be on all of your streaming platforms where I'll be making nano pennies. But hopefully we can recoup this record cost with all the streams. So we'll see what
Hell
happens.
yeah.
100%.
All right. See y'all later.
Cheers,
Cheers,
dude.
Josh.
See you
See you
later.
later.
See you later,
Bye-bye.
mate. Right, now we've got the real guest, Lance Rogers.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Father
No.
of Alex Rogers,
That
best buddy of Kenny.
father of Alex Rogers. Yeah, let's get Alex. Let's dial Alex in.
Alex Roger. I don't know if we're related at all. I highly doubt it. Maybe.
He kind of looks like you, I think. You know, he's got the hair going on. Not
He's
so
got the
much
style,
beard.
hasn't he?
Well, you know,
Yeah.
here's something crazy. With my look these days, right? I got the white beard.
It's looking
Right.
good.
I mean, I'm talking like 8 months ago. I look completely different. It's because I was dyeing my beard, and
Oh.
I started.
Revelations.
Yes, I started dyeing my beard because I didn't. I got a white beard early on. I got a white beard at 30 something years old, and instead of like just accepting it and being like embracing it, I thought I looked so old, and so I started putting dye in it. There was a certain point where my buddy JJ Waters called me out. He did. I posted a picture on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, and it was a buddy of mine took some pictures, and really nice pictures, and then we ended up posting them. And then JJ took one of those pictures and he like put a Just for Men bottle in my hands. I'm not kidding. This is what kind of like snap it, like it was a slap across the face. I was like, oh shit, the gig's up, man. And so,
That's brutal.
but it was
Yeah.
brutal. It was funny because I love JJ, and but it was also one of these things like, damn, if he picked up on that, like everybody, it doesn't
You
matter.
fooled us, mate. I wouldn't have
Yeah.
known. And I've seen you
No
up
idea.
close and personal, mate.
So
Fooled me. Ronnie, so are you going to take stock and let it go as well?
Do you know what? Now the truth's coming out. This is a truthful session.
Oh,
isn't it? It's
here
like
we go.
Truthful, yeah.
We
So I
listen,
did
but
actually.
we
it's
don't
rugged.
judge.
It's rugged.
Exactly. Yeah. Rugged Love. That's what it is. Rugged Love.
Rugged.
You're listening to Barry White and Rugged Love. Yeah, I used to dye my beard all the time, but I used to dye it black. And then it started looking a bit, I'm not too sure about that. It looks a bit fake. And then I thought, do you know what? I need to get a grip of myself, really, and just embrace the greys coming through. And now I've got loads of them coming through. I don't know if you can see or not on the camera, but I've got loads of them coming through. I never dyed my hair, though, because I just get all my hair cut off down the side just to get rid of all the enormous greys that I've got. But I won't let it go. I need to keep this for the time being.
That's the thing that kind of like it was kind of tough for me to take on because my hair is like brown. I've never dyed my hair. It's not gray at all. It doesn't match my beard at all. So that's why I dyed my beard to kind of like match my hair.
Yeah.
But like honestly, like
But it's nuts how it's grey.
You've got a
in the
lovely
beard, and then
head of hair.
Look,
Well,
you've got a lovely head of hair.
somewhere under there.
Yeah. What luscious locks
like-
you have, Lance.
so what I'm saying is
Yeah.
at some point I was like, who the hell am I trying to be? Like why am I dyeing my beard? There was a point in my life where I felt like, it didn't matter. It really didn't matter. Now I feel like I'm trying to be my authentic self. What am I trying to
It's
hide?
distinguished, I think, mate. You look very
It is.
distinguished. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grow a big Gandalf white beard eventually, and it's gonna be great. But
But then we'll all start pointing at you saying, "What you doing, Father Christmas? What you doing?" Then
Oh,
we
I
I
won't
will,
do
and
that.
I will, and
You
I will
will.
get, I will buy some reindeer, and I will get a
Yes.
sled.
Please, can we come on the sled with you?
I will get an
With
old,
his
I,
sack, yeah.
I will get an old 1960 something Ford sled,
Yes.
and I will, get some reindeer, and we'll
Oh, that
head
could
off.
be
Yes, love it.
that almost sounds like a Kevin Thomas video, music video. That does, yeah. I think you should do
We
that.
need a photo shoot. That's what we need. We need to get some pictures
let's
on
do
the
a-
Ford sleigh.
We should get Kevin involved. He needs to do a different Christmas song every year and a new video. And you guys need to come over from the UK,
Oh, I would love
and
that.
we need to we got to figure that out. We
I
got
think
time to
it'd be
figure it
amazing.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it'd have
Yeah.
us, mate, we'll certainly come
Yeah.
over. That'll be amazing.
Well, we done it for Texas, and thanks to Cowboys Distortion helping us out on that one. That was a very quick turnaround. That was. We're booking the flights now. Book them now. Because
Yeah.
I had one beer and was like, if I have another one, then I'll start thinking, is this the right thing? We booked it. Let's go. We're going to do the same with you, Lance. Why not?
Let's do
yeah,
it.
yeah, absolutely.
We could probably book flights for pretty cheap right now because the airlines are suffering
Yeah.
because the entire country is in like a kind of like a frozen wasteland situation. So you get-
We'll wait until it's warmer. Yeah, we like the warm weather. We want to escape the pissing rain and coldness. So yeah, we can't be dealing with that, mate. But yeah, no, I think that'll be good. I mean, with you, Lance. So we talked a lot about with what Josh is doing, his music, and I've really enjoyed seeing what you've been doing the past month or so, isn't it? You've just put out
oh yeah.
loads of songs, and I think you've had a different perspective in perhaps the way that you've looked at pulling music out from the conversations we've had. The equipment that you've been using has worked really well. So rather than me kind of just talking around it, do you want to kind of tell folk, what you've been
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah, like the songs that I've been putting out have been very stripped down. I've got an Audigo mic, which I'd seen the ads. I'd seen like they've been like trying to get me to buy one of these for a long time, and I finally pulled the trigger on it. And I even had it for a long time before I even recorded any music on it. But once I started to record a song on it, and I listened to the quality, I was like, man, I could probably upload this thing and it'd sound completely fine. I hadn't done that yet, and there was a buddy of mine that he was going through a hard time on. He made a post on Facebook that he was having a hard time with whatever was going on in his life, and I made a comment like, you need a. He's like, I'm going through a rough patch, and I said, you need a rough patch to strike a match, in the comment. And then another buddy of mine was like, damn, you need to write that song. And I was like, well, shit, I probably should. And then he ended up sending me some lyrics. He was like, man, we need here. I've thought about this tonight. Here's some lyrics to this song. It was like one verse worth of lyrics. And then by the next day, we had the whole song written. And so John Swanson is a co-writer on this song, the first one that I put out with the Audigo mic. But I ended up like recording it, and I sent him a demo to see what he thought about it. He's like, man, it sounds great. And the next day I was like, dude, I sent him a message. I said, dude, I did something crazy. I went ahead and uploaded this as like a song to DistroKid, had them master it. And that song's done better than any of my other songs have done before. Like from the, I'm talking about like I have my debut album was with a great producer in Lexington, Kentucky. It was at a time when Americana was kind of like, that sound was doing great. And my debut album did pretty good. This song that I did with an Audigo mic for free, and I uploaded it, and they, DistroKid mastered it for $12. That did better than any of my other songs have done before. So
Wow.
after I saw that, I was like, man, we need to start doing some more. So I've been releasing one song a week ever since then. I'm like, why
It's
not?
crazy.
Yeah.
Why not? I get messages from people that I've never talked to before. They're like, dude, I love the song. Like, you're a great songwriter and things like that. And I don't know that they would have ever heard my music if it weren't for the fact that I was releasing stuff that I'm doing right now. And I if I'm doing if I'm not doing anything other than inspiring other people to do the same thing, in this world of technology and AI, where you don't know what's real and what's not,
Hmm.
if you can strip it all the way back down and do record something out of your house and release it, that's the way we fight against it, honestly.
Yeah, man. I think it's inspiring a whole bunch of people to say, well, like you say,
Yeah.
you don't need thousands of pounds to go out and wait until it's properly produced, mastered, and go through the motions. You can pick up a. It sounds like a promotional part here, but Audigo mic. They have been great with a lot of artists using it. You can strip it right down. You can upload it instantly through DistroKid and almost find a new audience, can't you? I've seen what you've been doing, and if people look at our channel, our joint channel, we're falling
Hmm.
forward, and your own, and with the Rugged Revival, you've started to use that to good effect for some grit sessions, and I think the
Yeah, I
sound
watched one.
quality is great.
It is. It's incredible, and I didn't realize the quality of the equipment. Again, we're not sponsored by by them at all. But
No, we're
Not
sponsored by
yet,
Rugged Love.
maybe.
yeah, Rugged Love. Yeah, yeah.
Well,
We're not
if
sponsored by them
anybody from
yet. Yeah,
anybody from Audigo is listening right now, like here's how you get more credibility is talking to the people that are putting it out,
yeah,
and that's what you're talking about. Is I think at some point you just have an idea and you put something forth, and somebody has the technology to make that uh, simplified. I think that's why GoPro got so popular so quick. With the
hmm,
cameras they were making, where people were on the go all the time, and they wanted to be able to capture the moment, whether you're on a motorcycle ride or on some skis or a snowboard. Um, you know, Capturing the moment. And I think that's what Audigo mics are doing right now is like capturing the moments that people are having artistically. Sometimes you lose a little bit of that spark when you have too much time to think about it. When you're in your room and you're like, I'm writing a song and I'm singing this song, and I was like, damn, it's not that bad. I'm gonna go ahead and capture it. You record it. Sometimes that is the spark. That's the only spark you're gonna get from that thing. And I, I'm just grateful to be able to have that, that sort of device that I can capture it without having to be like, call a producer up, schedule studio time. I got a good song, like, oh, let me hear it. Okay, come to the studio. We can get you in 3 months from now, and it's going to cost you this much money. By the time you start that process to the time you get a finished product, you have lost so much inspiration, or spark. And I don't know. A lot of the stuff that I'm putting out right now is more, consider it kind of a demo track in a way. But any of these songs that kind of catch on, and maybe like some of them are more popular than others, I will take those and I probably take them to the studio and do a fully produced, full band version of them. But for now, I'm having a good time just putting out these solo kind of singles and just seeing what happens with them.
Yeah, man. I like the fact that you're collaborating with people, like say your friends in the community, and a lot of people in our Facebook group.
yeah.
You talk about John Swanson. I didn't realize is he a songwriter? I know he's part of the Kindred Valley, collective, isn't he? So
Yeah,
he's
his daughter is in the band. John is a friend of mine. He, he's been a supporter of the arts for a long time, independent music. He's been at a lot of shows, and he just kind of, that was that moment where he just kind of like took the reins and said, "Hey, I see what you're doing. Uh, Here's some lyrics for this song," and that's and after we did that one, we ended up doing a couple more songs right after that, And John, he's not a songwriter, but now he is, right? It's like you don't have to be officially stamped on the hand as a songwriter. Like, you just do it. And that's the way I did it. Like, that's how I started. I was 38 years old when I wrote my first song. And, I've like, I kind of decided this is something that makes me feel happy when I do it. So I'm just going to keep doing it. And before you know it, like, uh, there's so many things in life like that. You don't have to officially be grafted into it. You just decide that's what you want to be, and you just do it.
No,
I think that's what John did. When he decided to do a co-write with me, he's like, he was the guy that's like, hey, let's make this happen.
yeah, that's really cool. I sometimes sit there myself and not particularly lyrics, but you've got a chord in progression in your head maybe, and you've got something going on, and I mess around badly with the guitars that I've got in my house and put it on the voice notes, and I think I'm going to send this to Lance one day, someone who can actually play guitar and sing, and see if you can make something of it, because you just have that creative itch, don't you? And I think, like you say, not to keep promoting Audigo, but it's maybe that's replacing voice notes a little bit as a more polished version of capturing those demo tracks that perhaps can be made into a full band version later on. It's a really cool, and I just think the possibilities are endless at the minute. But in terms of like what you're doing for the rest of the year, Lance, I say the rest of the year, we're only in like January, but what key stuff have you got coming up? So where can people find you? What are you doing?
I've got a show this Saturday at a place called District 17 in Lexington, Kentucky. I'm a little bit nervous about it, honestly. It's not a big deal. It's not a huge show, nothing like that, but I'm nervous because I haven't played a whole lot of shows through the winter. And a lot of the show is going to be my new stuff, and I've never played it out. And so that's got me, I need to practice a little bit, but after that, I'm kind of spread pretty thin for the rest of the year. So anybody watching this, if you want to book me on any of your shows, like, go ahead and send me a message. I've got availabilities.
Well, you could always come to the UK.
I need to. I really want to.
You could
I'm
always
getting
come over and see us.
Here's the thing, man. Like, I'm getting married May 31st of this year. And a lot of my time leading up to that is going to be focused on that. It's going to be focused on like, it's a lot planning a wedding. It's a lot, financially. It's a lot, just strategically making it all happen. And after that, it's back to, playing some shows, focusing on some music.
Mm-hmm.
I know you mentioned some things happening in November. Like, maybe we get together in November. I would love to figure something out with that.
We'll definitely talk offline. There's some other opportunities in the UK that we'll discuss, and any excuse just to get you back over.
We'd love to see you.
Bring Josh or not, because we're not his favourite people apparently from the UK. So only you, Lance, is invited.
I've cut him now. Now he's off. Now he's off, and I'm gobby now. I can say what I like because he's gone.
He's still listening. No, that would be cool, mate. But is there anything else, like before we kind of wrap things up, that you want to direct people to, or just share in general, mate?
I will say this, like, the Following Forward podcast that I've been doing, I don't even know if it's a podcast. It's kind of a YouTube thing. That, it hasn't really done much as far as numbers wise, but what I feel like is happening is that there's, with me getting out there in front of the camera, whether it's a cigar review, whether it's an interview, whether it's a feature, as a musical performance or a repair on the truck, I think it's important for real, true voices to be heard. And I think that's what's happening here with the Rugged Revival. It's like we're friends we kind of see things the same way. Like, the numbers aren't there yet. Why are we doing this, right? We're doing it, but it other than reasons for, monetary gain. It's something we feel impelled to do. we only feel impelled to do something that will make a difference in the future, right? And I think that's what's going to happen. It's like we're more voices that are being heard in this Americana scene, this independent artist scene, the podcasting scene. Like, I just wanted to say that, like, I'm proud of you guys, like for what you do, and I'm happy to be included in it. And anything I can ever do to help you guys, let me know. But I'm glad to be connected between these two countries that we've got, and all the crazy things that are going to happen from now until far into the future. But one thing that will stand true is the fact that we have a voice. We have things that we want to say. We have songs we want to sing. We have songs we want to hear. So for everybody that's out there right now watching on a live feed, go ahead and follow Rugged Revival. Go ahead and follow Falling Forward. All the artists that they put forward are people that have an independent voice and independent songs, and have a story to tell. So just wanted to say thanks to you guys for like putting this out there, man.
No, likewise to you, mate. We appreciate you being part of
Absolutely.
our family and network, and we couldn't have articulated that better ourselves.
No.
So thank
I
you,
got quite
Lance.
emotional, actually.
I know, yeah, I did, yeah. People don't normally say nice things about us, so
No.
but you're part. We're all family. We've got some great people. We've got the Honky Tonk Hair Machine. Camden is putting out some awesome content. Kenzie's doing the same in Kentucky. Hopefully you'll speak to Kenzie soon. And we got Gary Hector, who's part of Alabama Sound Company with Josh. Who am I forgetting? I'm going to upset people with Brad. Who's doing the kind of blogs and the honky tonk stuff and the podcasts, and it's a great group of people that have the same mindset as us. Like you say, we're not doing massive numbers, but I think we've got a great community of people on the Facebook group, on the lives. We've got people everywhere, in England, America, even Australia with, certain people. It's been fantastic. So it's not going to be massive, but I'm really pleased and proud with what we've all built. So thank you for coming on, Lance, and for co-hosting. And we'd love to do some more of these if you're up for it, mate.
For sure. And I'm going to be recording some more rugged sessions here in Kentucky, and like the setup that I did with Michael Jones recently. It was with that Audigo mic, and I was able to mix it right there, and that's probably that's the way that it's going to look from here on out. With as far as what I'm doing for you guys over here in this country, I've got Will Finley Smith, I got Dalton Daly set up. We've got a couple other interviews getting ready to fire up, but right now we're frozen out, like it's solid ice out there, so we can't do much. But as soon as it starts thawing out, we get closer to spring, we're gonna be putting out a lot more rugged sessions here in Kentucky.
Cannot wait, mate. Yeah, we've got loads in the pipeline, loads of exciting things, and I think just subscribe to all of the channels, like we say, and just keep tabs on what we're doing, and stay safe. But we've got one final message. Ronnie normally does the kind of, we call it the final message. But here we go. So I'll just play it. So Josh will see us out, even though he's not here. If I play it.
To the grit, the grind, and the revival. This is Josh, right here from London, the Rugged Revivals.
See, I knew he had an affectation on his voice.
Yeah.
But,
So what part of the country would that be from? Like that
nowhere.
accent? Nowhere.
Actually, that's not a British accent.
Dick Van Dyke, London, isn't it?
Fagin. Lance, it's been an absolute pleasure. It's so great to see you again. Thank you. I've got actually just to add, this is the last time this setup is going to be like this.
Strip club.
It's all changing.
Scenery.
I don't think we've got.
I'm going to miss it.
I don't think we've got another podcast this week anyway.
Next
But
week.
this is all changing. It's all going to be different by the time, and then there might be something else new that we've discussed. Oh, rugged something, but will all be announced shortly. But yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure, Lance, and great to see you. You take care.
Good to
Stay
see you guys.
safe.
All right.
Keep
We'll
warm.
see y'all.
Yeah.
See you later.
You too.
See you guys.